Experience the Imperial Orgy at theimperialorgy.com.
Well, Mona Lisa, man has named you.
Welcome back. As you can see, Nina's always so exhausted after a very deep political conversation.
Better red than dead.
Spirituality is an important part of the Imperial Orgy. Although he rarely speaks openly about such things in his day-to-day life, a subtle undercurrent of spirituality lies below the surface in Caesar's songwriting. At the age of 20, Caesar was besieged by a dramatic religious vision that changed his life forever.
It only lasted a fraction of a second. It was just this abstract image, but it changed everything. It destroyed all that I knew of reality and created something new. It's a little bit frustrating because there's no way for me to explain it. There are no words to express it, and there's no way for me to prove that anything ever happened. But it was the most important moment of my life. Afterwards, I lived in a completely different world.
Pink refers to his beliefs as pagan pan-spirituality, which he describes as a mix of elements from Buddhism, Taoism, Hinduism, European paganism, and various tribal beliefs.
When you look below the surface of Eastern religions, and even to the roots of Western religions, you find that there is an area that's common to all. It's here where I find truth.
In an era when there seems to be a search for spirituality in America, with the proliferation of New Age religions, self-help books, and fanatical cult activities, Caesar sees the roots of many of our society's troubles.
There's a spiritual void in our country, and the monotheistic religions no longer seem able to fill that void. Many of the lost souls of our society tend to end up in the rock music and club scene, so we have a lot of contact with the nihilism that has pervaded the Western world.
Caesar believes that the root of our society's problems lie far back in the history of Western culture, when Plato first laid out his belief in the split between the material and the spirit world, and parallel to that, the body and the soul. Inherent in that belief was the idea that the body, nature, and the material world were evil and should be suppressed by the higher soul. This belief was later picked up by the followers of Christianity and soon became the basis of Western thinking.
There is a chasm within ourselves. Instinctually, we know that nature, the body, and sexuality are good. But for thousands of years, we have been taught that these things are evil. This inner tension has created souls and a society that is out of balance.
Pink's theories on spiritual and sexual union are vital to his belief system and lend a provocative edge to the Imperial Orgy's music and performances.
Paganism provides a positive outlook that celebrates life and embraces nature. In the pagan outlook, spirit and body are united, and God and the universe are one and the same. The world of the pagan is a living world. It promises to give us back our bodies and restore the broken circle of our fractured souls. The balance of positive and negative is restored because nature and body are no longer condemned as evil. And with the balance comes a psychic parallel, the war within ourselves, from which both our society and many of its individuals suffer, can give way to balance and peace.
Paganism worships nature through the image of the goddess. In these lyrics from Sex Salvation, Caesar incites the goddess within the women in the audience to emerge and worship through sensuality.
Love is sacred, don't let it bounce. Take my desire, free from your past. You're the goddess, I'm the beast. Join me in life's work on peace.
If you believe that all is God, then to worship the lover is to worship God, and sacred sex becomes the highest form of meditation.
Since the dawn of time, the union between sexuality and spirituality has been celebrated by humankind, and the balance of nature's polarity has been symbolized by sexual intercourse. Through tantric sex and sensuality, the imperial orgy uses sexual energy to induce a spiritual state in the audience.
There is a common experience which the meditating monk, the whirling dervish, the tribal dancer, and the fervently praying saint all seek. Psychiatrist Carl Jung referred to it as numinosity, a feeling of losing oneself, of losing touch with time and space, and becoming one with the moment, the community, or the universe at large. Something many have called coming close to or seeing God. With the imperial orgy, we attempt to use sexuality, musical rhythmic repetitions, and an ecstatic environment to deliver such an experience to our audiences.
The Orgy Hymnal is Caesar Payne's new book of poetry, lyrics, photography, and artwork. Get your copy at Amazon, Barnes & Nobles, or ask for it at your local bookstore. To purchase Imperial Orgy CDs, books, and DVDs, go to orgystore.com.